Million cases worldwide. Grim new numbers on the coronavirus pandemic. Here at home, the number of cases in our state tops 2,300. At least 36 people have died. We have team coverage. WJZ is live first with Mike Hsu and an update from a Maryland county feeling the devastating effects. Mike?
Good morning, Lynn. Baltimore County is one of the hardest hit areas in the state. Residents have questions. So last night, officials stepped up to the mic.
Baltimore County is now the third most affected in Maryland. There are over 350 cases here, 2 police officers infected, clusters in nursing homes, and over 13,000 unemployment claims just last week. The deteriorating situation prompts this town hall Thursday night.
I know this is a difficult time, and that residents rightly have questions about what has happened and what can happen next.
He gets questions from unemployment to face masks. Residents wonder if police are breaking up large crowds.
In a lot of these situations, it's been groups of youth, and we've really had to educate them more than anything.
So many questions revolved around schools and grading.
We're looking at grades potentially being a pass fail or a pass incomplete.
And there is widespread fear that first responders are not properly protected.
Our officers are equipped with masks, gloves, goggles, and gowns. We're hand sanitizing, we're washing hands, we're cleaning our units.
High school graduations are canceled, and right now the superintendent is formulating what they're going to do about all those graduations. I'm Mike Hsu reporting live in Towson for WJZ.
Thank you, Mike. It is 6:33. A correctional officer at the Metropolitan Transition Center, also known as MTC, has also tested positive for COVID-19. The entire building is now on a mandatory quarantine. The workers' union says the information was not immediately shared throughout the institution, and the union believes the person who tested positive has been off the job for at least a week, and that 7 other staff members who had contact with the person have now been told to stay home. Another staggering number this morning, more than 6 million Americans have filed for unemployment. Last week, that number was accurate, and 84,000 of them right here in our state are among them. Our team coverage continues. Amy Kawada with a look at how these numbers are having an impact on people and business. Good morning.
Good morning, Tim. Well, here in Baltimore City alone, just this past week, more than 8,500 people have filed claims for unemployment with no end in sight for this crisis.
Governor Larry Hogan says most Marylanders are following his stay-at-home order, but cases are still rising to more than 2,300 and at least 36 deaths. In these trying times, there is hope. GBMC in Towson says a coronavirus patient who was once on a ventilator has now been discharged.
We're pausing for a moment of celebration.
There have been cases reported at several nursing homes and long-term care facilities statewide. Just days after 5 people tested positive at Future Care Cold Spring, Future Care confirmed 6 people tested positive at its Good Samaritan location. On the economic front, new unemployment numbers are record-breaking, almost doubling from the week before to more than 84,000. The highest number is in Baltimore County with more than 13,000. Maryland Secretary of Labor spoke to us on Skype.
This is something we've never experienced before, and I can tell you we took more claims in the month of March this year than we took in all of 2019.
I lost my job about 2 weeks ago.
Opal Foster is among those out of work.
Part of our normal is, being able to get speech therapy and things like that through school.
She is raising a son with Down syndrome and trying to stay positive.
What keeps me going?
What's up?
Is this little person right here. He's pretty phenomenal and pretty funny.
Me?
Yeah.
And we're told the state has about 400 workers handling all these unemployment claims. The Secretary of Labor is urging patience at this time when you file these claims. Reporting live in downtown Baltimore this morning, I'm Amy Kawada for WJZ.
Amy, thank you. A drop in ridership forces the MTA to suspend several bus routes in the Baltimore area. Officials announced 11 routes are currently being suspended. The MTA says the coronavirus has caused ridership to drop by an average of 82% on the affected routes. Other area routes will continue to run for essential travelers only. For a full list of the suspended bus routes, just visit WJZ.com.
Worldwide, more than 1 million coronavirus cases have now been reported, and here in the United States, there are now more than 245,000 confirmed coronavirus cases and nearly 6,000 deaths. In hard-hit New York, healthcare workers are speaking out about the shortage of personal protective gear, such as gowns and masks.
Every day when I go to work, I feel like a sheep going to slaughter. My colleagues and I are writing our last will and testament. I'm 28 years old.
New York Mayor Bill de Blasio urged everyone to shield their faces when leaving home, using a bandana or scarf or other protective clothing, and not to use the much-needed medical masks. The heroes working on the front lines of the pandemic are sounding the alarm. They say they do not have the equipment they need to protect themselves. Rachel Carden spoke to nurses at GBMC and has their concerns.
Until Thursday afternoon, the management at GBMC prohibited their doctors and nurses from wearing PPE unless they were dealing directly with positive COVID-19 cases.
They were having meetings, they were sending emails, pretty much take your mask off or go home.
But healthcare workers are doing their best to not get sick. For this woman who wanted us to protect her identity for fear of repercussions, it's about the health of her patients too.
As a nurse, you're there to protect your patients, and you want to be doing what's best in their concerns to keep them safe while they're in the hospital.
Those working on the front lines just want the gear they need to work in the war zone.
The nursing world is really coming together and supporting each other the best we can, but what's really vital in that is that we have the support from management, from our leaders.
How are other nurses feeling about the job that you have to do every day under these circumstances?
We're definitely feeling really abandoned.
Now that staff can wear personal protective gear, they just hope they'll have enough to go around.
Is there anything you guys really need when it comes to the hospital staff?
Masks. So if you have them, send them to your hospitals.
The hospital released this statement to us saying GBMC continues to follow the recommendations for healthcare workers provided by the CDC, as well as other regulatory organizations. Patient and employee safety remain our top priorities. GBMC says they've tested more than 500 people for the coronavirus. They say they have 15 confirmed cases at the hospital right now. They say others have been treated and released. In Towson, I'm Rachel Carden for WJZ.
Engineers at Johns Hopkins University are working on a 3D printed device that can allow a single ventilator to treat multiple patients. Their efforts come during the dire need for more ventilators. Some medical professionals have expressed concerns about sharing the devices, like spreading germs and patients not getting enough oxygen. But Hopkins says their splitter is designed to safeguard against those risks. The team has already made a prototype.
It's 6:39 now. Right now, thousands of nurses, doctors, police officers, and many essential workers are keeping us safe and healthy throughout all of this. And real-life superheroes is what they're being called. To show their support, the University of Maryland, Baltimore is putting together some virtual thank you cards and artwork. So take a look at this one. It's all being made by kids in the local community, and it will all soon be on its way to those essential staff and health workers at the University of Maryland Medical Center.
At times it can be stressful, leaving your family behind to go in to do this. And so this is just a way to give back and put a smile on faces.
So Ashley there, who you just heard, said the idea started while she and her kids were at home trying to think of something positive to do. And unfortunately, the cards themselves cannot be delivered, so they'll be scanned and put together in a book. And if your kids or your family want to help out with this, we have information on how to do so at WJZ.com. We urge you to stay with WJZ as we continue to follow the new developments in the coronavirus pandemic, both on air and online. We have everything you need to know posted at our website at WJZ.com.